Okay, this is the Visualize It Map, and it allows you to zoom in to any part of the United States that you're interested in to see where the controlled airspace exists. Uh, just to explain, you can hover over any of these icons up here, and it will give you an idea as to what that icon does. But the two most important ones is the home button, which no matter where you are zoomed into, if you click on that home button, it will bring you back to this wide view of the entire United States. Right below it is the one that if you hover over it, it says My Location. And basically, if you click on that, it is going to place a blue dot on the map and zoom into that area to show you where it thinks you are based on your IP address and so on and so forth. If you want to get more specific, you can go up here and you can actually put in an address, and it will zoom to that address. But just for simple sake here, I'm going to go ahead and click on this and show you what you get when you do that. Okay, so it has zoomed in, and you see this blue dot here. That is an indication of where it believes I am. And this is Parker, Florida, and this area down here is Tyndall Air Force Base. And you can see there are grid lines here, and this is the facility map that Tyndall Air Force Base has released, that indicates for each grid there's a number there, and like in the case of this one it's 100. So what that means is they have designated this grid as a maximum ceiling for drone flights to be 100 feet. That basically means that they have stipulated that uh, if you fly a drone and go no higher than 100 feet, that it will not interfere with their flight ops. Um, the interesting part about that is just because it says that I could fly up to 100 feet without interfering with any flight ops of theirs, you still have to file a flight plan with the FAA through dronezone.faa.gov saying, hey, I want to fly between this hour and during this date range. And then you have to sit there and wait for that flight plan to be approved. And I filed one a month and a half ago, and I am still waiting. So I can't legally fly until that is approved, even though I'm in a grid that says that ops that I should be able to fly up to 100 feet without interfering with their flight ops. Let me zoom out a little bit and show you something that you need to be aware of when you're looking at this map. You can see here that these facility maps are basically a circle that is divided up into individual grids. And if I slide this map over, which you can do by simply clicking and holding your left mouse button, and then you can move it wherever you want to move it to. Now you'll notice that up here near Tallahassee there is a similar grid line. This is most likely the Tallahassee International Airport. Looks just like this one down here, the difference being this one is green. Um, the map, the facility map is exactly the same. If I zoom in, it's going to have the same grid pattern with the same numbers. The numbers can be anywhere from 0 up to 400 feet. And so what the difference is between the one at Tallahassee and the one down here is green means they participate in the Lance system. So you could get near real-time flight approval in this one using Lance. This one down here, however, being red, means it does not participate in the Lance system. So your only option for flight approval is to fill out a request using dronezone.faa.gov. And according to the FAA, military installations will probably never participate in Lance, so your only option is going to be to file a flight plan through dronezone.com and wait what right now is an eternity to get an approval to fly. All of these areas out here where there is no facilities map, those are Class G airspace, which means you don't need to file a flight plan with the FAA and get permission to fly. There is a caveat, however, and that is just because it's on this map as Class G airspace, you have to be aware of the fact that various areas are still flight restricted by policy. In other words, any national park, the current policy with the National Park Service is you can neither take off nor land within the national park. So even though it shows it as Class G airspace, you still can't take off or land from the national park. However, the loophole there is they don't control the airspace, they only control the ground. So you could take off from outside the national park, fly over the national park, take videos, and then return to your takeoff point and land, and you have not violated the National Park Service policy because the ground is their jurisdiction, the air is the FAA's jurisdiction, and the FAA says that is Class G airspace over the park. So just be mindful when you're looking to fly that policies of the entities on the ground may still prohibit you from taking off or landing in that area. A lot of state parks are like that, national parks are like that, and some municipalities have just passed laws saying you can't take off. But that's another video. What you need to know here is what you can do with this Visualize It map and what it means. Like this red area over here basically is restricted airspace, even though there's no facilities map in there. It basically says you can't fly there, period. Whereas if you look up here, you'll see that there are a number of facilities maps. One of them is green, meaning Lance is working for that area. The others are red, which means you got to fill out that application through Drone Zone. Now, because in Drone Zone it allows you to put in a date range for the thing, and that date range can be up to 2 years. I went ahead and filled it out for a 2-year period that I want to be able to fly anytime from sunup to sundown. And so once it's approved, I'll be able to just go outside and launch my drone and I'll be okay. But given the amount of time it takes to get an approval, I'm probably going to want to file another one probably 2 to 3 months before this one would expire. So that's what this map looks like, and that's how you use it. So let's go back and zoom back in to Tyndall Air Force Base and see that for the area that I am in, indicated by this blue dot right here. Let's go a little bit further. Um, that means basically it thinks that I'm here, and that's pretty accurate, and that I have a flight ceiling of 100 feet, but I can't fly there until I have filled out that request and the FAA has approved it.